Welcome back. I don't know what episode this is. I don't know anything. All I know is today is the Royal Rumble 2025.
It's the best day of the year.
Yeah. Well, it sets up the rest of the year, right?
Yeah, but it's also the most fun match we'll do all year.
It might be. I was talking to someone about this actually this morning. I went and got breakfast before, getting on here. This might actually be in contention for the best pay-per-view of the year by December.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, because there's so much they can do. I mean, people are still uncertain who will win the Rumble. Like, mostly the men's. Everyone's kind of dialed in on the women's, I believe.
I think there's like 3 possible women's winners I've heard. And
yeah, but there's one way in the lead.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, right? But how you doing, Ian?
I'm good, man. I'm tired. Went out for my grandfather's 70th birthday last night. We were in Toledo, so we didn't get home until like 11 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So I tried to speed run SmackDown this morning, and it did not work.
You gotta do what I do. You gotta like go to WWE's YouTube channel and kind of just watch.
I was trying to go through with the Twitter.
You can't do Raw anymore because now that like the shows are on Netflix, they don't show you the finishes of the matches.
They don't do that for SmackDown either.
Yeah, they do.
No, none of the finishes were on Twitter last night.
No, they were on YouTube.
Oh, well, I didn't look on YouTube. I looked on Twitter.
Yeah, well, see, that's your fault.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, just pay attention. Honestly, it's not that hard, Ian. Just be better. Use better social media.
It is 9 a.m. Stop yelling at me.
It is not that early. Very often I have to be at work at 5 a.m. This is not that bad. My day'd be half over by now.
I mean, same, but for my one sleep-in day, 9 a.m.'s early.
Yeah, I was up. See, my experience is different. I woke up at 6. I fell asleep watching SmackDown on the couch, and I woke up and I was like, "Oh yeah, let's turn the TV off now." And then I started making prepping dinner for this evening. So
nice.
So yeah. All right. I guess we just kind of jump into it, right?
Yeah. So well, it's been about a month since we've had a show, and a lot has happened.
So much.
So do we want to start with Netflix, or do we want to just go straight into the Rumble?
We can start with Netflix. What do you want to talk about on Netflix?
I like that the time, like the show running, is flexible. I really do. I know some people are like, either needs to be 2 hours or 3 hours. Pick a lane. I like that there's not a set time, because it makes like matches less like predictable as to where they're going to end. Does that make sense?
It kind of. I like that. I like that aspect of it, but it throws me for a loop when it stops at like 10:35, and I was like, oh,
I get to go to bed early tonight.
Right. The first time I did it, I was like, what's going on? With the Finn Balor and
the Priest match, yeah.
Priest match, yeah. I was like, oh, it's over? That's it? Really? Oh, all right. I didn't know what to do with myself for the next 25 minutes,
Wait, what else? What's happening? I thought this was the main event.
Right. I was very confused. Yeah, I don't mind that either. 3 hours is a lot, which I will say, because of this Netflix deal, it's made SmackDown kind of a lot to drudge through.
SmackDown is a 3-hour show with a 2-hour roster.
No, I don't think that's true. It's a 3-hour show with a roster that can pull 3 hours, but it's like they're not writing it as a 3-hour show. They're writing it as a 2-hour show with some fill time. Like Jey Uso that one time came out and he had his entrance for like 8 minutes.
Oh, on Monday? Yeah, that was bad.
Like, wow, bro.
His entrance was longer than his promo.
Yeah. But also his promo is not over. His entrance is. So, I get it. Right? But
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they're like, it's such a good thing that he gets like the Stone Cold type of podcast. Or not the podcast, the promo. Because he's like blown up by the time he gets to cut the promo, so he can say a few words, let the crowd yeet so he can breathe, and then do it again and again and again and again.
Right. Honestly, he's the most over man WWE right now, and it's a shame he doesn't have a world title. Hey, I want to do something with you, okay? So
Okay.
I know we both have been struggling with who to pick for the Rumble, but I wanted to offer a couple things and then do an exercise to see if we can kind of help ourselves, okay? So
Okay.
first, I want to offer this suggestion for anyone that thinks John Cena is going to win the Rumble. John Cena, if he wins the Rumble, has no reason to compete in an Elimination Chamber match. This will be his last Elimination Chamber. One would presume John Cena is going to be in the Elimination Chamber. He said he would be in the Elimination Chamber.
He said he would be at Elimination Chamber, but nonetheless.
Sure. Personally, to me, I don't see a world where Cena wins.
No, he's not one of my choices.
But I thought, when I was thinking of this, I was thinking of, well, how else could we figure out who to pick for the Rumble? On our game, me and you play with a couple of other people. We have 2 choices for the men's, 2 choices for the women's, and then you select who wins any other matches. In this case, it's DIY facing Motor City Machine Guns and Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. But we'll focus on the Rumbles. So I thought to help us figure out all the Rumble picks, it might be helpful to decide who are the final 4 for both Royal Rumbles.
Ooh, Final 4.
Because if we can figure out the final 4 that makes the most sense, then we can kind of pick and choose who we think, would work best, right?
Here's the thing. It's hard for me to even whittle down a final 4. I have a final 6 for the men's.
I do too. I do too. So
I have a final 6.
Okay, well, who are your final 6?
Okay, so the final 6. Punk, Rollins, McIntyre, Reigns, Cena, Sammy.
Okay, I think, personally, we can get rid of Reigns, and we can get rid of Cena. Reigns has won 3 Royal Rumbles.
Oh, like as potential winners. I thought you meant like out of the final 4. I was like,
well, you can, because he's won 3 Royal Rumbles. And what's the story if he wins? Redemption against Cody?
Yep, Cody Roman Part 3. Sorry, that was loud.
I don't think we need that yet. I don't think we need that at all, honestly.
Yeah, and I think that's very Vince-esque booking, and I don't think Hunter will go with that.
Plus, we can do, if Jacob Fatu eliminates Roman, there's a match. Needs no build. Needs no explanation.
That's not where I want Roman to go for Mania, though.
Okay.
I want Roman versus Drew. I think that's a bigger match.
Well, that could happen. That could totally happen still. So of your final 6, Drew and Roman can take each other out.
Yeah, I'm down with that. So that leaves final 4 of Punk, Rollins, Zayn, and Cena.
Uh-huh. You know what's funny about that? I can't show you this, but my literal final 4: Cena, Rollins, Sami Zayn, CM Punk.
Okay.
I wrote this like 3 days ago. So I was thinking about this. But
I think I chalked mine up to Punk, Cena, Roman, and Rollins was my final 4.
Now here's another way we can help maybe kind of narrow it down. Of those final 4, who has a story that we can easily connect to a world champion?
Well, that would depend on who wins the ladder match.
Cody's winning the ladder match.
Then it's Punk.
It's just Punk?
I would argue.
There are 2 champions. Sami Zayn has a story with Gunther.
Yeah. Well, he did. Because he beat
Rollins
Gunther.
Rollins has a story with Cody. And
Rollins set up more of a story with Gunther on Raw than he did with Cody.
Yeah. But he has history with Cody.
Yeah, but everybody has history with everybody. Vaguely. You can make up history. Like Cody said in a promo that he used to drive John Cena around. They could build the entire feud on Cody having driven John Cena around.
If you look at our final 4 as well, Sami Zayn and John Cena could square off, and Rollins and CM Punk could square off. I think Rollins wins the Rumble.
He was one of my two choices. I don't think he's going to win, though.
I think it's him or CM Punk.
Those are my two choices.
Yeah, I think it's them because I can put. What did I just do? Oh, I can put. I feel like I can put John Cena in a story. I can put Sammy and CM Punk in a story. But Rollins doesn't really have anything. And I feel like he could fit any space.
You know, Raw, there was that segment with Rollins, Gunther, and Logan Paul.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, I think that would be a really fun triple threat for the title.
Please no. Please no.
I'm not saying I want Logan Paul in a title match. I'm saying that would be a fun match to watch. Because
That is
Gunther
exactly
would
what you
just
just
kill
said.
that boy.
That is exactly what you just
No,
said.
I didn't say I wanted it. I said it would be fun. Because Gunther would kill that boy.
Okay. All right. So, Ian,
Yes.
who are your Rumble choices?
For the men's Royal Rumble, I am predicting that either CM Punk or Seth Rollins will win.
Okay, so we have the same picks.
Yeah.
I see how it is. Just steal my choices. That's cool.
I have somebody who can vouch for me that I said this last night before
That's okay.
speaking to you.
Okay. All right. That's cool. All right. So let's do this Final Four for the women then.
This one's going to be possibly more difficult.
I don't think so. Though I have a caveat though.
But like on the other end of the spectrum, like there's not many options.
Are there not?
I don't think so.
What drugs are you on?
I can think of like 3 or 4 possible winners.
Well, that's funny because I asked you for a Final Four.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So, in my head, the 4 possible options are Io, Bianca, Charlotte, and Becky.
Okay, so I swapped Becky for Nia. They like to do the big person at the end that they can't eliminate, that they all got to work together.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think... I mean, she spent most of last year as champion. I think they're going to let her sit in the tag division for a minute with Candice.
Okay. So...
It's the reason why Liv's not there.
So I think Bianca is flexible too. And I say that because I think that depends on who Jade Cargill goes after when she returns at the Rumble tonight.
Yeah,
does she go after Naomi or does she go after Bianca?
I have no clue.
Because that could go either way. Totally go either way.
So, a few weeks ago, I sent you, like, this would be my 30-man Rumble. I never ended up getting the script written. It's actually really hard to write a Rumble script.
No, really? Who'd have thought?
I got to, like, number 13, and I was like, okay, I don't know where to go from here because I want this person in the long run, but I need this person to get eliminated.
You gotta work backward. How do they win? Who do they eliminate last? You know what I mean?
So on, so okay.
Final Four.
But on top of that, I also did, like, what I would do for the WrestleMania card. And on it was this tag match. And it was Bianca and Naomi versus Jade and Jordynne Grace.
So, remember when I said there's a caveat?
Jordynne Grace is your caveat?
Listen, what is the one thing the Royal Rumble has never done?
Debut in the company, you win it?
There has never been someone who comes out as a surprise entrant and wins. It's never happened. Not once.
John Cena 2008.
John Cena was associated with the company.
But he was a surprise. He wasn't supposed to be there.
Sure. I'm saying there's never been someone show up, right? That, as far as we know, doesn't work here, right? And then all of a sudden just win the thing. Night one. It doesn't happen.
Honestly, I'd be down for Rhea Ripley versus Jordynne Grace. That match would go crazy.
Would I.
That match would go crazy.
So would I. And this is why my one caveat, right? Say Jade goes after Bianca. Okay, great. Then I think you could easily slot Jordynne Grace in there. And I think, because I think it's confirmed Well, as far as we know, she is signed.
Yes,
She is
Fightful
signed.
reported it last week that she is officially signed to WWE.
But we don't really know these things or how they shake out until we see that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I assume that's what we're gonna have to see. Her coming into the Rumble and winning would be crazy. Also, Becky has no chance of winning because I think I know. I think I have a different match for her.
Does it have to do with another Irish person?
Yes,
Lyra?
Lyra Valkyria. Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
that'll establish the IC title really well if Lyra beats Becky for it.
I agree. I think it's with the way she was propping her up before she left, and the way every time you'd see him backstage talking, she was kind of always like,
Oh yeah,
kind of
Lyra's great.
like
hyping her up.
right. I think that's the move. I
I
want to make
that
sure.
would,
I want to make sure you're as good as I think you are. You know what I mean?
yeah, that was another match that was on that list.
Of course. I think that's a good solid move. So of the Women's Royal Rumble, Ian, you have two choices, and they are who?
Io Sky and Charlotte Flair.
I
And
hate you so much.
Were those your picks?
Both of them.
You know how much it pains me to pick Charlotte Flair.
I hate Charlotte Flair.
Okay, there's like two people in WWE that I have go away heat with. Like I don't want to see you on my screen anymore, and it's The Rock and Charlotte Flair.
It's not The Rock.
I don't want to see The Rock on my TV anymore. I'm so done. I'm over it. We had this conversation on the last one, and you agreed with me.
I know. I agree. I know. All right. Well, especially because he muddies everything to the point where it's not even like fun. It's just you've just ruined everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've ruined the suspension of disbelief. All right, so you've nailed my picks exactly, and I hate you for that.
We're gonna have the same picks again. We do this like
I know.
every other card. We have the same picks.
I know. All right, so let's just go through the other two matches, which I'm sure we'll agree on. DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns in a 2 out of 3 falls.
You go first this time.
I already did. DIY.
Yep, DIY.
Yeah. It's going to be a phenomenal match.
Oh, it's going to be so good. It's going to be NXT Black and Gold.
Yes.
Match of the Year candidate out the gate at the Rumble.
It's going to be phenomenal. All right, and then Cody Rhodes defends his WWE title against Kevin Owens in a ladder match.
It's Cody.
It's Cody, 100%.
What I did catch a SmackDown, Punk took a shot at Kevin Owens because they shared the ring, and it was felt like they were holding back, which could just be for a feud in the future.
Could be.
But nonetheless, CM Punk goes, "I'm not 0-5 in championship matches at the Royal Rumble." I was like, "Ooh,
that's you. That's right."
And I was like, and it's even worse because he's going to be 0-6.
Well, that's funny because because CM Punk Kevin Owens made the point that he's main evented WrestleMania twice, and CM Punk hasn't.
But I mean, one of those WrestleMania main events was the Kevin Owens show that just turned into a match with Stone Cold. WrestleMania 38 was weird.
It was he fought Steve Austin in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah. WrestleMania 38 was weird.
Still love it. Anyway.
I just deeply inhaled into the microphone. No, I've gone back and watched it, and I wasn't really watching WWE at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to watch it, I was like, what the heck is going on?
I don't know. They always pull it off though. All right, I want to try something, by the way.
Okay.
Surprise entrance for each Rumble.
Okay. Do you want to do just list off who we think will be in there?
Who you think could appear and might appear?
I think the most obvious one is Joe Hendry.
He's on my list.
This one, I don't know if he will. I really want him to. Big E.
Okay, so I'm with you where I want it to happen. I just don't think it happens yet.
Well, because they can do the whole spot where Kofi and Woods are have taken over the ring, and they can do it within the first 12 people, and Kofi and Woods have taken over, and then Big E comes out and eliminates them both, and way.
So I have a better pitch for the New Day. I want them to be 1 and 2. And I don't want them to fight. I want them to go sit in like some folding chairs right by ringside with a mic and just make fun of the Royal Rumble. And anyone that comes out and just talk all this trash about the Royal Rumble. He's like, oh, you want me to do a big spot for you? No. So I can like try to get back in the ring? No, you don't deserve it.
He hasn't done a Stay With Me spot in a few years.
Sure. But that's what I want. I want him to trash everyone. And then if Big E is going to show up, throw them both in the ring and eliminate both of them.
Okay.
But at any given point, they're smart heels. They could just sit and wait outside.
Yeah.
Stand outside when someone's about to get pulled over, start pulling people down over the ropes, eliminate them from the outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cheat to win.
I do not love what they've done with the New Day since the heel turn.
Why?
Because it's just been like sideways movement. They've not progressed the story at all. It's everybody hates the New Day. Ah, ha 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 ha. Next week. Everybody hates the New Day. Ah, ha 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 ha. Next week. Kofi's mom hates the New Day. Ah, ha 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 ha. Like move forward, please. Okay, they turned heel. Where do they go from there?
They're beating up Rey Mysterio.
They both lost to Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, but then they jumped him.
Rey Mysterio stood tall on Monday because he stood with Wood's family.
Yeah,
wearing New Day suck shirt and Lil Yachty. Do you when you watch Raw, do you have the ads or do you see what goes on like in the commercial break?
What do you mean?
Like, you know how like you'll either have ads or you'll see what they're doing instead of ads?
Yeah, I have ads.
Okay. I don't have the ads, and so I pay the extra subscription.
So do I.
I bought the very top tier Netflix when I first got it.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Like the $30 one?
Yeah, the thing that just went up, yeah, I have it.
Oh, I don't know. But in the ad break, McAfee was interviewing Woods' family, and he gets to Woods' sister, and he's like, what do you think of Xavier's recent actions? How do you feel? And his sister goes, well, he was a good guy, and now he's a bad guy, so I boo him. And that was it.
Wow. Oh, okay.
I was like, so they did not prep you guys at all.
Yes, they did not screen you at all. Which that's oh, okay, cool.
Good thing that happened during the commercial break.
Everybody in the arena is like, yeah. And
how do you feel about Xavier's recent actions? Well, he was a good guy, and now he's a bad guy.
Wow, she gets the business. So surprise, back to the surprise entrance. You said Joe Hendry.
Big E.
Okay, Big E.
There's been this next one. I really want this next one. But what's going around is that his contract is not fully done. There's like a stint on it or whatever.
Aleister Black. Same. He's on my list.
I think the obvious one for the women is AJ Lee.
100%.
Like, which is funny because I don't think she'll be in the match, and I think that we've hyped ourselves, like the wrestling fan community has hyped themselves up for like AJ's gonna be in the Rumble, and then she's not.
CM Punk even teased it though.
Okay.
Did you see that video?
They were
asking. Jackie Redmond was backstage asking. I think it was just a digital clip. She was asking all the men who they want to see in the women's Rumble, and asking all the women who they want to see in the men's Rumble. She gets to CM Punk, and she asks him, and he goes, "Well, there's one I can't say."
Oh.
And everyone's like, "Dude, why would you do that?"
I think that's just Punk being Punk.
It could be.
Because on the McAfee show yesterday, McAfee was like, because Punk was on the McAfee show.
I was listening to it this morning while I was making dinner.
And he goes, Punk's like, I'll see you in the Rumble, which, I mean, yeah, Pat's going to be in the Rumble. They're in Indianapolis.
100%.
Even though he's been in the last two, so this will be his third in a row.
And then Corey Graves is going to come out after him and eliminate him.
I would actually love that so much.
It's so good.
Because people don't know that Corey Graves was a good wrestler.
I'm just saying it could be dope. It could be dope.
People don't understand that Corey Graves was a really good wrestler in NXT.
He's on my list of people that I want to see surprises.
But anyway, and Punk's like, I'll see you in the Rumble match, Pat. And he's like, I'm not in the Rumble match. Are we going to see your wife in the Rumble match? And Punk goes, why would my wife be in the Men's Royal Rumble? I was like, come on, Phil.
That was clever. So.
He's good. Oh, okay.
Everything okay?
Yeah, Thor needs to go out. And Lauren's trying to get him out.
Okay.
Brother. And he's underneath me. This is funny.
I would edit this out, but I'm not going to.
No worries. She got it. Thank you.
All right. So, some of my surprise entrants I want to see. So, you didn't discuss.
Oh, there's another one for the women's I meant to say.
Okay.
Masha Slamovich from TNA. TNA Knockouts champion.
Okay. That's a really good one. That's actually a really good one. So
you get one TNA entrant for each Rumble, and that's it.
That's all I need. That's all I need. Because I want to make people's heads explode. So first off, surprise entrances. People I'd like to see: Aleister Black, of course. Matt Cardona, I think would be really funny.
Oh yeah, that'd be really fun.
Be really funny. If I get one TNA wrestler for the men's division, I want Moose.
Yeah. I don't think
see
he's up there on as possible options, but yeah.
Why not?
I think he's like maybe third or fourth on the list of people they would do.
So Josh Alexander, I don't care.
Well, so if we're doing one TNA entrant, I think Hendry's more likely.
Hendry's 100% going to be there.
Oh yeah,
100%.
As far as I don't want him in the Rumble, and I debated Corey about this for like hours yesterday.
Who?
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, I know. No thanks.
Nemeth.
No thanks.
Will probably be there before him.
I hope not.
Or before Moose. Then Josh Alexander, who is actually his contract is coming up with TNA anyway. So
That's why I didn't initially have him in here, and I selected Moose instead.
I think Alexander's going to be NXT bound.
I think so too.
And then probably Moose at 5.
I think Moose. I think you do Moose. I think you do Moose.
It'd be fun. It'd be a lot more fun if Bobby Lashley was still at the company. Can you imagine Moose versus Bobby Lashley?
It'd be very interesting. But I think he's one of those guys that's names floated around forever, and we've never seen him. And now that you have his partnership, I think you do it. You know what I mean?
I'd be okay with it.
Yep. For the women, I have AJ Lee, of course. Jordan Grace, I think, is a lock.
Yeah.
Again, it's reported she signed, but those reports don't always mean anything.
They reported that Hikuleo was signed in like July of last year, and nobody's heard from him. He
is signed, though.
He's signed. We just have not heard anything about or from him.
And that's my point, though, right? But what does it mean? And I just took a shot in the dark, and I kind of feel like Trish Stratus will be there.
Okay. We have done, what is this, like Women's Rumble number 6 or 7 at this point?
Was the first one in 2018?
Asuka, Becky, Charlotte, Bianca, Ronda, Rhea, Bayley. So this is Women's Rumble number 8.
Yep.
We still have not done Trish Lita standoff in a Women's Rumble.
We don't need it.
I disagree.
What?
Just for the quick nostalgia pop.
They had a whole. What do you mean? They've had a whole, like, wrestling, like, story forever. Just those two.
Yeah,
Like
just do the standoff in the Rumble.
they're best friends. Why? For what? Who does it benefit? Are we going to get a really good Mania match out of the two of them? No.
I'm not saying it has to be like a long-term thing. To be like, hey, quick nostalgia pop. It's not like in the men's Rumble where, throwing a quick nostalgia pop in there would like possibly be to the detriment. There's not that many like high-profile women that are going to be in this match. So throw Trish and Lita in there for a quick mid-tens
Bro, I
pop.
think you are undercutting the women's division and specifically the NXT women's division.
You're not going to get more than 2 NXT.
Roxanne Perez, Julia, Stephanie Vicar, Jada Parker. Like, there's a lot of really good women in NXT.
I understand that.
And you can bring them all in.
They're not going to, though.
Why?
They've never done that. There was a point in time where the NXT men's roster was better, and they brought in 2 guys most, and it was Cole and Andrade.
Okay.
You're not getting 4 or 5 NXT women in this match.
Are there less women than men on these rosters?
Probably. I don't know the exact number.
Yeah. So there are. Why would you not bring?
That's never been the style. Even in the past few years, they've not done more than 1.
Okay, so answer me this: how many NXT women do you think will appear in the Rumble, and who?
I think a max of 2. I think Roxanne Perez is a lock. She's been in the last 2 Rumbles, and she's likely being called up. She's being displayed on Raw and SmackDown again with this rivalry with Bayley.
Bayley, yep.
And I think Stephanie Vacher is the other one.
I think you do. I see. I think you at least bring 3.
You think Julia is the 3rd?
I think so.
That's possible.
And I want Julia and Io Sky to have a standoff. Or I want Julia and Asuka to have a standoff.
That match would go crazy.
I know.
Both of those matches would go crazy.
You want Lita and Trish, and I want like the future.
For the nostalgia pop, it's been 8 Rumbles and we still haven't like done anything. Like we did Trish and Mickey, and that was nowhere near as good as Trish versus Lita.
Bull crap.
You're saying the Trish and Mickey James rivalry was better than Trish versus Lita?
Yes. One was an obsessive fan turned borderline lesbian over her obsession of Trish Stratus, who did a very, very, very vulgar thing at WrestleMania, which I laughed at.
Yeah, they have heavily edited that out of this. And the best part is she's done it like multiple times since.
Vince McMahon was so angry. And then it's funny, especially considering what we know about Vince McMahon now, that he was so upset about it. Oh, this took a turn. Sorry. Anyway, he was so upset. It was the worst thing he's ever seen on television. What are you doing?
Apologies.
So he's just like,
I was texting.
How dare you? You got to do it like a grown-up. You got to do it with your computer so like you can do it while...
Brother, these keys are loud. You don't want me texting on my laptop.
What laptop do you have?
A Mac.
But Which Mac?
It's MacBook? Old. It's not like the super clicky ones, but it's like a...
What MacBook do you have?
I don't know. One of like the early laptops.
Like, is it like the white one?
Silver.
Okay, so is it a MacBook Pro?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, it says right there, MacBook Pro.
How do you not know which one you have?
Dude, I got this in 2020. Like, this was a graduation party thing.
So, are the keys like they compress a lot, or they barely compress at all?
Barely compress at all.
Yeah, no. So you don't have a loud keyboard. You just have this kind of typing.
I just type loudly. Cool.
Yeah. If you just put your hands on the keys and then just press them, it's really quiet. Plus, also, I have my computer's on a riser, and I have the keyboard down here.
Well, good for you.
And my text messages are over.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Here's a question I have for you. Are we
Okay.
done with surprise entrance, or do you have more?
No, I think again I no, I'm done. I think Matt Cardona, Aleister Black Moose, AJ Lee, Jordan Grace, and Trish Stratus. That's it. I don't consider Julia,
Roxanne.
Roxanne, and I don't consider any NXT talent surprises. But I mean, it would be cool to see them.
Okay, so we started talking NXT, so I'll table my other question here. What men's NXT people do you see?
Oh boy. So, see, this is gonna get a little iffy, right? I honestly don't know. I think Trick Williams,
Yeah,
Obafemi.
possibly. I think Trick's
Bro,
locked. Right?
could you imagine him come in and there's almost
They bring Omos back because Omos is going to be in the Rumble. He just came back from Japan.
Yeah. That's the ongoing thing. He said he was going back to WWE, but we don't know. But again, we just assume Rumble.
Yeah. I think Trick is a lock, and then there's 3 guys I think could possibly be in it.
Okay.
Well, 2 that I think could possibly, and 1 that I really want in it. So Trick obviously is the lock. The 2 possibles are Obafemi and Ethan Page.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that I really, really, really want to be in it is Javon Evans.
Huh.
You can give Javon Evans the crazy Kofi save spot this year. Because that kid is amazing, and he's like 20.
See, I want him to try it, and I want Kofi to cost him it.
That would be sick.
It'd be so funny, bro.
But Ethan Page, I think, is...
Imagine my scenario where Kofi and Xavier are just chilling outside the ring. They see this kid jump onto the banister, and he goes to jump, and he grabs like the ring post, and Kofi runs over and just kicks him right in the side and just causes him to fall.
That'd be hilarious. But honestly, I would genuinely be mad.
But that's the point, though.
I know. Like, that would actually get me mad.
Hey, that would get everybody mad. That's the point.
Because I really like Javon Evans. Like, when 2K25 drops, if he's on the main roster, he'll probably be my main character.
Yeah. But I think yeah. That's not a bad choice. I think Trick is definitely up.
So you said how you want the New Day 1 and 2?
Mm-hmm.
I want Mello to be my 1, and then I have 2 options for my number 2. I'll let you decide which one you like more.
Okay.
Trick Williams as number 2.
Okay, I like that a lot.
Or Braun Breaker as number 2.
Trick Williams.
I figured. But in my fantasy Rumble script that I was making, I wanted the first 10-ish entrants to be like a bastion for look what NXT has produced.
Well, I mean, half the main roster.
Well, look what NXT has produced in the past few years. So let me see if I can pull my script up, and I'll tell you who I had in the first 10, because I got pretty deep into it before I gave up.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, can you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had number 1 and 2 were Carmelo and Braun Breaker. Mm-hmm. They were because they were the 2 big call-ups last year. I thought that'd be a fun little fight. Plus, their matches were really good.
Okay.
Number 3, Sami Zayn. I had him being my Iron Man.
Wait, time out. You said the last couple of years.
I understand. That was the one
My whole argument was everyone on most people on the main roster NXT, and then you just kind of switched back to
so it was, these are the most recent call-ups. Here's one of the original NXT guys.
Uh-huh.
The lifespan of NXT.
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 4, Andrade. 5, Chad Gable. 6 was Ray. I know he didn't go through NXT, but he's got the story with Chad, with the Luchadors and all that, even though he's more New Day now. 7 was Shinsuke, and 8 was Santos. So my first 8 were 7 of my first 8 were NXT produced these guys.
When you say recently, how recent is recently?
I guess 2018 isn't as
because Finn Balor was back in NXT more recently than Shinsuke Nakamura. More
Yeah.
recently,
I guess it wasn't so much like more recent as more of just like big names that came from NXT.
oh, dude, there's so many.
Yeah. But like when you think of
Kevin
NXT,
Owens, Roman, Seth.
but okay, when I think of like an NXT Mount Rushmore, I don't think Roman Reigns. What is your NXT Mount Rushmore?
Oh my God. How come these things always turn into like off crazy, difficult conversations? Okay, fine. I'm gonna do this. Okay. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
Purely based on NXT.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm just clarifying.
That was the rule. That was the rules. I
I'm
got
aware.
it. I got it. Adam Cole,
Okay.
Asuka.
I forgot about Asuka.
How?
Well, I don't.
Dude, she broke Goldberg's undefeated
No,
streak
no,
for
no, not
real.
like I forgot about who Asuka is. I just tend when I do Mount Rushmores, I tend to think men's Mount Rushmore, women's Mount Rushmore. I don't usually
Is
combine
that what
them.
you want to do?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, you got to set the barriers for me, dude.
My bad.
All right,
my
fine.
bad.
All right. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Adam Cole, Finn Balor.
I would substitute. I like that. So you had Kevin, Sammy, Cole, and Balor.
Yep.
I would
I
substitute.
think that's pretty solid.
So mine is Gargano, Cole, Balor, and
could almost throw Ciampa in there too.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like 1A. You know what I mean? He's just.
And I'd say Sammy. So same as you, I would just substitute Kevin Owens for Balor or for Gargano.
I could see that. Kevin
Owens was not in NXT for very long.
No, he did not spend much time there, but he did make it quite an impact when he got there.
But you think about the honorable mentions you can have: Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura, Tommaso Ciampa. Andrade was really good at NXT.
Samoa Joe seems like kind of unfair. Like
I would put
he spent quite a bit of time there, but it was like he came in as like a veteran.
So did Shinsuke.
I mean, yeah, and so did Finn Balor and a bunch of them. But
yeah,
to me, it's like I think TNA.
Adam Cole came in.
Yeah, but I think TNA when I think Samoa Joe, because he spent so long there before.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Other names could be like Adrian Neville was really good. Obviously, you've got Rollins was the first champion. Big E was one of the first champions. Now you look at the NXT Women's Mount Rushmore, and that becomes that. And we're going purely based off of their time at NXT, not what they became after NXT.
Asuka has to be number one. Asuka has to be number one.
Asuka, Shayna Baszler. Based purely off NXT, Shayna Baszler.
Continue.
I'm sorry, Roxanne Perez is on that Mount Rushmore.
I don't disagree with that.
And then who's that fourth?
You know who it is.
I don't want to say Charlotte.
You don't have to.
Oh no! It's Bayley.
Okay, so we are going to disagree.
That's fine.
So, Asuka, Bayley, I agree. Paige.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you forgot about her. Then Bayley, Asuka, Paige.
Roxanne Perez.
Io Shirai.
I think leaving Roxanne off that is a mistake.
No, I don't think so.
I really do. I think I would argue Roxanne's the best women's champion since Asuka. It's either her or Shayna. I don't know how you don't have Shayna.
Shayna was crazy. Believe me. But I don't know how you don't have Io Sky. I mean, flips on you. How do you not have Io Sky? I'm sorry, Io Shirai. She was dude. She literally.
I had Asuka, Shayna, Roxanne, and Bayley.
Yes.
Who are you taking off that to put Io on?
Either Shayna or Roxanne.
You're wrong.
No.
Roxanne and Io was great,
Uh-huh.
but Roxanne and Shayna were more impactful champions, in my opinion.
Who spent longer in NXT? Roxanne, Io, or Shayna?
I would guess Io, but
But somehow,
I'm not confident. Just because you were there for a long time doesn't mean you were impactful.
well, it's what you've done in NXT, right?
What did she do? She won. She was
What do you
champion
mean?
once.
She was in every freaking War Games match.
Yeah, it's true.
She was the NXT Women's Champion. What do you
You know what? Yeah,
mean?
I retract that statement. My memory is just now kicking in.
Io Shirai was like Asuka had left, and Io picked up right where Asuka had left off.
Yeah.
She just killed it, bro.
Honorable mentions: Ember Moon, Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never understood Nikki Cross.
Dakota Kai.
Later on when she turned heel,
When she was Crazy Coda, that was
yeah,
fun.
that was fun. But up until then, I was like, what are you?
Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane is just fun. Psychotic but fun.
Emma.
Yes, how did I forget about Emma?
Then you got Charlotte, Sasha, Becky.
Yeah.
Nia in NXT she had that one really good match with Bayley.
Turns out Bayley has good matches with everybody. Huh. Maybe it's a Bayley thing.
I'm trying to think. Tiffany Stratton was really good in NXT. I don't think she's up there, but like
I was gonna say yes, very good, but not. You're talking about top tier, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think she makes it.
I'm trying to think.
You could almost throw Bianca on that list.
Bianca, yeah. I want Bianca's NXT character to be her main roster heel run, please. Because she was so funny.
This is why I need Jade to attack her. Because not just say I'm the EST as like a gimmick, but say it as like no, for real, I'm better than all of you. But anyway,
Ripley.
Yeah.
The one night that when
I feel
NXT
like Ripley's
and
been better. I feel like I feel
100%.
like she's been better on the main roster than she was in NXT ever.
But the one night when NXT and AEW were going head to head, the one time that NXT beat AEW was when Ripley won the title from Shayna. That was the only time in that like 2-year span where NXT had more eyes than Ripley or than AEW because of Ripley.
Yeah. What about now?
Now it's not even close. TNA is getting more viewership than AEW, and TNA doesn't have a cable deal.
Bro, isn't that crazy?
You know how mad I was when I found out TNA doesn't have a TV deal? I was like, I want to watch this, and then it's not there.
Yeah, they're owned by a cable company or by a company that has a channel. So they don't have a deal technically, but you can watch them.
Well, I can't watch them on YouTube TV. I got to pay a subscription.
Yeah, on Anthem, yeah.
Which is dumb.
Yeah. All right, so moving on. I want to talk about JD McDonough.
Oh my god.
So I was at a Red Wings game. So I'm like missing Raw, but I'm watching the Red Wings just like eviscerate a team right now and kind of like have like a really good neck and neck and back and forth and come out on top over the Kings. So my phone is blowing up. My dad and my brother are like, "Oh my god, I think Ivar just died." And I was like, "Ivar, what happened? Hold on." And then they're like,
I texted you too, didn't I?
Yeah. I had a bunch of people text me, and Twitter was like, and I was like, "What?" So between the second and third, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, what is going on, bro? Dude, that looked awful. And then if you want to go back and watch it, when you see him hit the table, you can see on his back there's like an indent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's where the rib. His ribs are broken, and one is piercing his lung. And that dude was like, YOLO.
I didn't notice that the first time. I saw his head whip back and hit the table.
Yeah.
And freaking Cole and McAfee are like, I guarantee if he didn't have such an oddly shaped big head, he'd be hurt. And Cole's like, he's not being hyperbolic. That's genuinely why we think he's okay.
Yeah.
But
which actually, it's kind of funny.
So
Get
he
such a
goes on.
massive head.
He takes this massive bump.
Wait, was it Pat that was like, "Is the table okay?" Someone said, "Is the table okay?"
It was probably McAfee.
Yeah.
So McDonough takes this horrendous bump, and everybody's like, "Is he good? Like he probably has a concussion, right?" And then like 3 or 4 minutes later in the match, he takes a reverse GTS from Eric. I was like, "Oh, that's not a good choice right now."
Which, by the way, if you're good and you say you're good,
But anyway, he finishes the match. Props to I think it was Atlanta, whatever crowd it was, who saw JD get up and just immediately applauded.
how could you not?
And bro almost died, but he turned himself babyface in the meantime. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, and then reports were he got behind, like he left the arena on his own power, and then as soon as he got behind the curtain, he dropped.
There's a photo of it.
I don't. Oh god, so
Of
sad.
him not. He didn't exactly make it into Gorilla. You know how like when you see the walkout shots where they walk out and they make a left and they make a right to come out?
Yeah,
So he went. So if you think about it in reverse, you go forward, make a left, and then make a right. He made the left and almost made the right.
and dropped.
And there's like a picture of someone on this side, like looking, and you can just see his foot.
Yeah,
And you're like,
but
oh,
he said he's going to be out for a few months. He's likely going to miss Mania.
yeah. I mean,
2 broken ribs and a pierced lung. Like, get well soon, dude.
the thing that really scares me about that is a pierced lung. That means your rib broke and went and like stabbed you.
Yeah.
And you finished that match. How much longer did the match
Dude,
go
that was
after
like
that?
that was in like the first minute of the match, and it was a 10-minute match. Like, adrenaline's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, no kidding. Homie's lucky to be like alive. I kind
And
of want to go back and watch and see if he's like, deep.
he went out for a second. Like you can see him, like his eyes were glazed over for like at least like half a second after he hit the table.
Yeah.
But he was refusing medical attention. Like Cole was losing his mind on commentary. Like, no, somebody check on him. I guess some reports were that Hunter was like freaking out backstage, like telling Cole, like, get him medical attention, somebody check him out. And that brings me to a question.
Uh-oh.
So in other sports like football, if a coach or a team doctor or a referee determines, hey, you got hit really hard, you went out, you need to go get checked for a concussion, that player is pulled off the field.
Okay.
No matter, they can say, hey, I'm good, they're still going to get checked out.
Mm-hmm.
At what point do wrestling companies start making executive decisions to, if a superstar looks like they've gotten very hurt, at what point do referees or management be like, no, come here, I'm checking you out, and if I'm saving you from yourself?
They already do that.
No, like the doctor's enforcing it. Like, I don't care if you think you're fine.
They literally already do that.
Sorry, I dropped something.
This is an instance of where a talent said they were fine and they had no problem. They didn't look like they were unconscious. There was nothing to specifically identify that dude's not okay for minutes at a time, until it was very clear he's not okay, right? And at that point, they rush to the finish. They get to the match. It's over. They get him to the back, right? They did all they could have done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Short of going, hey, you're out now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the guy says he's okay, and this is different than most sports, right? Because in the NHL, if you get hit in the head, you go off the ice, they immediately check you right then. Okay, they have to. Okay, but this is a sport
Combat.
where people are constantly being hit, face, head, neck, shoulders, chest. You know what I mean?
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Right, and it's something where it's not not always so obvious, right? You've watched UFC fights, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And if you hit someone and they fall real hard, the ref will let you hit them one or two more times and see if they're going to defend themselves before he'll step in.
Yeah.
Right? Because just because you fell hard doesn't mean you're unconscious or you're not aware. You know what I mean? So you have about 2 hits to start fighting back, or else that's over.
Yeah.
They don't let you say, I'm fine. You know what I mean? They don't do that. Because now you're risking permanent damage. With wrestling, it's kind of where you have to rely on the talent to be able to tell you what's going on, unless it is blatantly obvious something is wrong. In this case, I think they can probably look back at it and go, these ribs look weird right there. But a broken rib is also not enough to suspend you from a match. Shawn Michaels got a broken rib when he faced The Undertaker, and he just kept wrestling with a broken rib. He didn't pierce his lung, but looking at JD McDonough, you would not know he pierced his lung.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he might have even, based on adrenaline, been like, check your fingers, check your back, check your legs. No, I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Based on that adrenaline. As that adrenaline started to wear off, as he was sitting there waiting for a tag, you could tell there was something wrong.
Yeah, he was like, ooh.
And that's when and that's when they were like, all right, match is over, done, get it, go, you know? So I think they didn't do the wrong thing. I think they did as good of a job as they could have. I will pivot and say there have been moments where they have done the wrong thing blatantly, right? And a lot of wrestling companies are guilty of this. I remember in AEW watching a dude get knocked out in the middle of the ring, and they just kept wrestling around him. And I'm like, that guy is unconscious. That guy is unconscious. Guys. And they're just jumping over him, running around. I'm like, the dude's unconscious.
First thing that comes to mind for me is Sammy Guevara, Matt Hardy.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Like, Matt Hardy was knocked out off of that scissor lift, and they finished the match. But to AEW's credit on that one, the stipulation was that if Matt Hardy loses, he's fired. So he had to win that match. They had to figure out a way to make Matt win that match.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You could have stopped the match. You could have figured it out any other way. You're in a world of make-believe. You know what I mean? Like, you're in a world where none of the rules really mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't creatively come up with a way where you could, you know what, you could have even, I know Tony Khan loves wrestling and loves recreating storylines of old. You could have even done the thing where he randomly shows up and beats Sammy Guevara, and the announcers can't speak about it because he's not a signed talent.
Mm.
And you could have done that until he, whatever. I mean, you could have done that. You could have done anything. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, I think with JD McDonough, he deserves big props for being able to finish that match, finishing that match. And I think in the future, he needs to be better at assessing what's going on with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But big props to him. Like, obviously praying for him. So
that's a hell of an injury to come back from.
Yeah, and he said it's only going to be a few months. Like, there's a very good chance that if he's not back for Mania, he'll be a Raw after Mania return.
JD McDonough?
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes for them to pull your rib out of your lung, put it back in place, sew your lung up, and it work. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the human body is really resilient, but you broke something and stabbed yourself with it. I don't know.
To pivot a little bit. Not pivot a little bit, pivot a lot, because we didn't really talk about this match, and I do want to get your insight on what you think might happen. The ladder match.
Uh-huh.
So on Raw, they set up this whole idea that Sammy might come help Kevin Owens or, whatever, get involved in the ladder match. Do you think Sammy gets involved, or do you think it's clean, or what do you think happens?
How many enemies does Cody Rhodes have at the moment?
Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Roman? I don't know if they...
Okay, so how many enemies does Kevin Owens have?
Randy, Cody, the Usos, Roman.
So he has a lot more.
Yeah.
Where's Randy been?
So you think it's Randy?
I think Randy comes back. I think Randy comes back, cost Kevin Owens that title, and there's your Mania feud.
Oh, you think it's Kevin Randy?
Yes.
So what do you do with Sami Zayn?
I think Sami Zayn focuses on the Rumble.
Well, I mean, like post
He doesn't.
Mania.
He doesn't have to be involved in this. Huh? Well, that depends.
Well, like
You see,
post Rumble.
okay,
Like
I was like,
road to Mania.
post Mania, we got a lot of cooking to do before then.
No, I meant like post Rumble. Like, who do you think is Sammy's Mania match if it's Kevin Randy?
Okay, so you jump back to Mania.
Well, you were saying that it's Kevin Randy at Mania.
I do.
So what do you think Sammy does at Mania then? Because I've just sort of coasted on the idea that it's Kevin Sammy.
I like the idea that there are so many options for how these stories can go, and we can make them all make sense, right? And I think Triple H has done that better than anybody in a long time, where you don't have one person at the top alone with mid-carders trying to leapfrog up there. You have a bunch of talent that all legitimately you could plug and play into these positions, and they work, right? You've made everyone bigger in a weird way, but you've pulled it off successfully. So it's not meant to be a cop-out when I say I really don't know, but I really don't know. But I think Kevin and Randy make sense, right? And that will alleviate Cody for CM Punk to win, Sami Zayn to win, John Cena to win, Seth Rollins to win. There are, at this moment, so few opportunities and so many talent that deserve them. And it's a good problem to have for the company. It can be a little taxing for the talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have no idea. I have no idea. Last year's WrestleMania was so fun because leading up to it, we had no idea. You know, we weren't sure of anything. I remember millions of people tuning into a kickoff event for WrestleMania that we were hoping we would get a transition of some sort. And then we did. And it was the craziest thing we've ever seen. And it was just a wild, chaotic moment in the best way. I don't know. I don't know where Sammy goes, but I trust Triple H to get him there really well and to make it really good because he has an impeccable track record.
Yeah. I don't know, because with me, my mindset was set on Sammy Kevin, but now I'm looking back at that like Mania thing that I did. I don't think I had Randy on the card.
You know what else you could do?
Hmm.
You could also have Cody mad at Randy.
Why'd you help me win?
Yeah. I need to be the champion. I need to do this myself. I don't need your help. Would he have won? Sure, I would have got it back. I'd have figured it out. I'm the guy. You know what I mean? You could set up Cody and Randy. There's, and this is what I mean. There are so many ways to go and so many ways to make these. I would love to see what an alternate universe of last year's WrestleMania looks like.
Where like Punk doesn't get hurt, or
like just like 6 different. Well, that's the thing. There's so many options you could have done. You know what I mean? I would just love to look at 6 different universal versions of that pay-per-view and go, what in the world? Because I think here, you know, the fact that we don't know who's going to win the Rumble, the fact that we,
for the first time since like what 20?
No. Did you know who was going to win last year?
There were 2 glaring options last year.
And they were
Cody and Punk.
Okay. Did you know who was going to win?
It wasn't. It was a lot easier to decipher than this year.
What about 2020?
I wasn't really watching in 2020, so I couldn't really
Yeah,
say.
you were. That was Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, no, I went back and watched it, but I wasn't watching
Oh,
actively.
okay. Well, fine. My point was, no one had any idea going in there because we were
Okay, so
like,
the first time in what, 5 years?
yeah, and we loved it.
I mean, 2021, you could argue, because Edge won, and I don't think anybody was expecting Edge to win that.
Nope. Yeah, you're right. But there were people we had expectations for to win.
Mm-hmm.
No one was super.
Blatantly obvious.
Everyone loves the Rumble, but no one was like overly excited for that one.
Yeah.
So like it's gonna be Brock Lesnar or someone else, you know what I mean? And then Edge won, and we're like, what the hell? But for 2020, I remember
that provided a really good triple threat at Mania.
It did. It really did. A crazy one where all three of the guys at WrestleMania all had at some point their careers taken from them, and Roman literally just stacked them. You know. But look, I don't know where we go. I don't know how we get there. I think this year Sami Zayn should be a world champion. But I also feel the same way about Jey Uso. And I feel like there are just so many stories to tell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping we set up John Cena's whole year tonight.
You know who we didn't factor into the Rumble? Not that I think he's going to win, but I think he's going to be a major part of it.
Who?
Jacob Fatu.
I told you I think he's going to get the most eliminations. And he's going to eliminate Roman Reigns. Yes, literally today. He's going to get the most. He's going to get the most eliminations, and he's going to eliminate Roman Reigns. And that's his match for Mania.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I said I wanted Drew. There's been an hour.
Mm-hmm. It's only been an hour. What is wrong with you? Where have you been?
Yeah, Jacob Fatu is going to be a big role. I think Priest is going to be a pretty big player in the Rumble.
There's another NXT guy.
Who?
Priest.
Oh yeah. I don't know. This is such a stacked Rumble.
It is.
There's going to be
100%.
The tag division is pretty much iced out of the Rumble this year. Penta's going to be a major player in the Rumble.
Is he?
I think so.
Maybe. Who knows?
He's confirmed to be in it.
You know what I want to ask you. Do you think? Okay, I've talked about Jey Uso for a while, and it's starting to actually bother me. Do you think Jey Uso will be a perpetual mid-carder? Is he the gatekeeper now? Is he the Seth Rollins spot where you beat him to move forward?
Yeah.
Because clearly Drew McIntyre is not the gatekeeper anymore because he can contend for any title he wants at any point, it seems, right? He's that level.
Well,
but Jey Uso beat him, and it didn't mean nothing. His stock didn't rise. Then again, it can't. I don't know how much higher it can rise.
To be fair, Jay just came out was like, Gunther, I'm challenging you for that title, so clearly he can just go out and challenge for a title if he wants.
Sure.
I think that it's more believable for Drew to win a title than it is for Jay.
But that's only because they haven't pulled that trigger.
Let
me ask you.
So
does it make sense for Sheamus to win a title right now?
If it's the Intercontinental title, yes.
Could Sheamus just win a world title? Would that make sense?
No.
No? Okay, well, it made a lot less sense the first time he did it.
Well, yeah, because he was a rookie. He won his first title 6 months into his WWE career.
Right, and it was super weird. Super weird.
But that was a Vince booking decision. That was I
get it.
That was when the title would change hands at Sunday at Extreme Rules and then Friday night on SmackDown.
No, that is not how that was. No.
Christian's title reign.
Christian's a special case. Vince hated him.
For no reason, because he's so good.
He just hated his face. He wanted to put a dot over his face.
That's wild. But it led to what should have been, if Punk Cena hadn't happened in 2011, Christian Orton would have been the feud of the year.
Could have been.
It would have been, because that was an amazing feud.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It wasn't an amazing feud, or it wasn't feud of the year.
It wasn't feud of the year.
No, it was Punk Cena because of the pipe bomb.
Of course. Well, I mean, there's more than just that, but yeah.
But yeah, I think that you're really pushing Jey Uso to be a world champion, and I don't think it's going to happen.
Why not?
I can't give you a reason. I just don't see it happening.
But why? What is he missing to be a world champion?
I don't know. I can't give you a hard cut. He doesn't do this. Not world champion.
This is what bothers me, is that there are a lot of people like you that are like, I don't know why, but I can't see it. Okay, but no one could see Sheamus as a world champion either. It made no sense. He won, and we were like, huh? He had like zero connection with the crowd. His mic skills were and he beat John Cena? That's because you held John Cena so high up here that no one could swing at him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then he loses to that random dude. And we're like, oh, okay.
Look,
Uso, hold on. Jey Uso is so much more advanced than Sheamus was then. And people still look at it and go, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no, I would love to see him as a world champion. I just don't know if it would happen. But I'm not the one booking the show, so what does it matter?
Well, what gives me hope is Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, the crowd essentially willed into being a world champion. And he was the caliber of talent that was capable of doing so. I think Jey Uso's in the same position. I think he could be.
Yeah. I think it's possible.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't... Who do you think is more likely to become world champion?
Oh, I hate this game.
Jey Uso or Sami Zayn?
Sami Zayn.
Okay. Same. That was it. That was the whole conversation. I think Sami's more likely to be world champion. Because Hunter loves Sami the underdog.
How could you not, right?
Yeah.
Hey, go look at his match with Roman at the Elimination Chamber.
Gunther at Mania last year.
Yeah.
Which, even still, I would argue it should have been Chad Gable, but I'll die on that hill.
It could have been.
Because Gable has not really recovered since then.
Oh. Gable's kind of a goober.
But he could have been this great Kurt Angle-esque Intercontinental Champion.
He still can be.
Not now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean,
what do you mean not now?
You're telling me that if on Monday night Chad Gable beats Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship, you believe it? You'd be like, that makes sense.
Yes, it's Chad frickin' Gable. Have you seen that dude?
He's a comedy goofball who is going to learn the dark arts of Lucha Libre right now. No. That is not somebody who can beat Braun Breaker.
By the way, who do you think that is?
Aleister Black. He had Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. Their wrestling school is the Dark Arts Wrestling School.
Yes, I know.
And Aleister doesn't do Lucha Libre, but Zelina Vega does.
And she's now on SmackDown.
Which is where I think Aleister Black is going to go.
Of course.
And speaking
of SmackDown... That's why Charlotte wins the Royal Rumble, ends up on SmackDown, where she faces Tiffany Stratton.
Speaking of SmackDown, Damian Priest being moved to SmackDown, great call.
Mm-hmm. His thing with Truth, the fact that Truth is on there and doesn't know it is hilarious. Did you see that clip?
No, I missed it. Truth got moved to SmackDown?
We're gonna do this together. Hold on. I think I can screen share this. Can I? I'm good. We're gonna watch this together. Hold up.
I didn't realize Truth got moved to SmackDown.
Truth didn't realize he got moved to SmackDown. That's why it's so funny.
Do you think we could get a R-Truth comedy spot in the Rumble?
I don't. That's the other thing I wanted to ask you is, what do we do?
Because there's so many people I don't think are going to be in the Rumble.
Okay.
I gotta find the list. So Corey and I were going back for hours about whether or not Jeff Hardy should be in the Rumble.
Well, no, he shouldn't.
That's
At
what
all.
I said.
He doesn't need the exposure, and honestly, WWE doesn't need the liability.
That was my point.
You were 100% right, sir.
Jeff Hart, I don't want to see the Hardys on WWE TV anymore. I don't. Now, if they want to go down to NXT with part of the TNA
put
deal,
them in. You can put them in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So this was as of, I want to say Thursday.
Hold up. I got this for you real quick. Ready?
Okay.
I'm gonna show you this. Let's share my screen. Hello. Oh, come on. That share. Can you see this?
Yes.
All right. Let me turn these captions off.
Damián.
Can you hear it?
Bienvenido
Hold on. I'll turn that down. That's loud.
a SmackDown, hermano. Hey, while I have you here, SmackDown can be a very hard place to survive. I mean, you already know. Next time you find yourself in trouble, it wouldn't hurt to have Legado del Fantasma by your side.
Tú y yo no somos amigos, so I don't know why you're even bothering talking to me right now.
He said, "We are not
Dom
friends."
was right about you. This ego of yours always gets in the way of things.
I'd be very careful choosing your next words.
Okay. I'll take it easy for now, but I'll be seeing you.
I thought Legado was good guys now.
Hold on.
What are you doing here?
DP, you back on Raw.
True. It's Friday. This is SmackDown.
I hate to break it to you. You can't keep climbing in and out of the window. Pick a show. This is Raw. I just talked with Adam Pearce. He has hair now. Very distinctive.
Never change, man.
Check the background, bro.
All the fireworks out there,
Right
my man. I got to
here.
make sure that you're feeling good. You're ready for tonight.
I'm solid, man.
All right.
Tonight's tonight. We're going to handle business in a tag match.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, it's a whole nother story. The bell rings in the Rumble. I don't know you.
That's Shinsuke Nakamura, my dude.
I appreciate you.
Oh.
Works. I tell you what, I'm fine with that. If it comes down to it, we cross paths, we got to do what we got to do, then that's what we'll do. I know that. But tonight, what we got to do, Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu going to get their heads kicked in by you, by me. Yeah?
Yeah.
Wepa. Raw. Yeah. You know it's
Yeah. Let it go. Trust me.
we should form a team.
That was great. Also, I was really trying to figure out who that was back there. I didn't realize it was Shinsuke. Oh, God.
I zoomed in on it, and because I saw the title reflection, and I was like, "Who is that?" And I'm thinking, titles on SmackDown. It's Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke versus Priest.
Fire, bro.
They're going to kick the crap out of each other.
Literally kick the crap out of one another.
What was I saying before you showed me the video?
I don't recall.
Neither do I. Oh, I thought Legado were good guys now. Why is he beefing with
No.
Santos?
No, he's not beefing with Santos. He just kind of walked up and was like, "Hey, no. Santos is kind of a."
Because, I mean, the Garzas teamed with
This show
Motor
is
City
PG,
Machine Guns
so-
last night.
Yeah, but they weren't. They were not friends.
No? Okay.
No.
I didn't watch the match yet.
Go back and watch Go back and watch the match, and then watch like the clip before that happens. Like very clearly, they are not friends. They are not good guys. No.
Okay, so
This is
it was
just
an
a
8-man
showcase.
tag, and only 2 of them were good guys.
This is a showcase of tag teams.
Yeah.
By the way, the story between DIY and Pretty Deadly
So
pretty-
good.
is so fun.
You know why? Because DIY is great and Pretty Deadly are funny. So
It's 100% because of Pretty Deadly. They're carrying all the stupid, and I like it.
So I think we've covered our bases, have we?
Yeah. So on everything I had written down, we've covered everything.
Let me pull up my notes, make sure I covered everything.
Sure, absolutely.
Rumble predictions, JD McDonough.
Yep.
Oh, we didn't really talk Saturday night's main event.
Okay, go ahead.
These are missable shows. These nothing like the one thing I would recommend from the last Saturday night's main event is go watch Jacob Fatu kill Braun Strowman, and that's really it.
That was awesome. That was really awesome. If you're gonna use a blood packet, that's how you do it.
Yeah. That do you have anything to add to Saturday night's main event?
I thought the Jey Uso Gunther match was pretty good. I went into it knowing. You know what this is? This is this is an awful comparison. This is comparable to AEW's what do they call it? It's not Fight for the Fallen. It's what is it? They do that whole thing where all the championships are on the line or whatever, and then none of them ever change hands.
Is it Battle of the Belts?
Yeah, it's Battle of the Belts, where the belts never change hands, and the show is completely missable.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, is it really a battle for the belts if none of them ever move?
Yeah. Other than that, Braun versus Sheamus was good because, of course, it was.
The Shawn Michaels, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens segment was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a horrible super kick from Cody Rhodes, though. Good God, that was so bad. He did not get his leg up enough.
Well, you know, he wears a tight suit.
Yeah. Okay, so Saturday night's main event. Call-ups. Who do you think is coming up between the Rumble and Mania?
Roxanne Perez is number one on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Trick Williams. I don't know. I don't know if you bring up Trick Williams maybe the Monday after.
Yeah.
But he's coming up soon.
Ethan Page.
I would, but I don't know what you do with him.
Make him a mid-card heel, like
right,
the U.S. title division.
Who would he feud with?
Ethan Page versus LA Knight would be fun on the mic.
That would actually be great. It'd be great until they started wrestling, I feel.
I don't know. Another one I had was I think this will be too early to do, but I think either Lola Vice or Jada Parker will come up after Mania. I think it's too soon for either of them, but I think WWE will pull the trigger.
So if Jada Parker comes up, what do we do with her? Because this is the thing I always hated. I always hated that we need to pull up NXT talent now. We have no story for him, but we're going to call him up now. I'm like, but why?
Yeah.
So Roxanne has the story with Bayley. Got it. Makes sense. I see it. Golden. Gonna kill it. Both of them.
Do you think that if Roxanne comes up, they'll make Zelina change her finisher?
No.
Because right now they both use the code red.
Nah, that's fine. They're both smaller talent, whatever. You know what else? You know, did you see the last time Roxanne was on Raw and the security guard just kind of picked her up and like walked away with her? There's a picture of some of the security guard holding her like this, and then it's like people applying to be a security for WWE. Like the applications have shot through the roof.
Yeah. So
they can just grab like this little woman and walk away with her.
That's horrible.
I know, but it was so funny. I laughed. No, Roxanne Perez for sure. Trick Williams, Ethan Page. I guess I could see with LA Knight. Promos would be so fun.
They would.
Whatever happened to the Metaphor girls?
I think they'll come up like officially.
Yeah, I think that's who I bring up. And I don't.
Do you think they'll ever bring the D'Angelo family up?
Eventually, yes.
I don't think that's a gimmick that works on the main roster.
I think it could be. I think you just tweak it a little bit. You can make it work. And I think they can be the new FBI, the full-blooded Italians.
Oh,
you know?
goodness, we're not doing that.
Dude, look, wrestling is a variety show. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the WrestleMania with Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville.
No, yeah, that was great.
Right. It's a variety show. There's something for everybody. Our Truth has no idea what show he's on. Like, it's a variety show. You know what I mean? That man doesn't have to wrestle, and he gets like to just be one of the most over characters because he's so stupid. You know. Actually, we never did figure out what we think our Truth will do. He pulled
I
the
don't know
ladder
if
out.
he'll be in the Rumble.
He got a hot tag.
I don't
You know what
think
would
he'll
be funny?
in the Rumble.
You know. How about this? He comes out on Raw, and he runs down to the ring, and he starts he interrupts a match and starts throwing people out of the ring, like he thinks he's in the Rumble, but he's like a whole 2 days late.
Day late, yeah. Oh, that's what we were talking about. People I don't think will be in the Rumble match. Let me find my list.
Welcome to ADHD, the podcast.
Yeah. So this list was sent Thursday. I was talking to Corey about it. And at the time, only 15 people were announced for the Rumble. Priest got officially announced last night. These are the names that have not been officially announced for the Rumble yet. Okay? Dom, Jimmy Uso, Finn Balor, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, Trick Williams, Kofi and Xavier. McAfee has not been officially announced. Andrade has not been officially announced. Hendry, we're thinking will be in there, but it's not officially announced. Santos has not been. Omos has not been. AJ Styles and Ilya Dragunov both are looking like they could be ready. Aleister Black was a possible return. Randy's a possible return. Sheamus hasn't been announced. Ludwig Kaiser hasn't been announced. Strowman has not been announced.
Hold on. Strowman should not be in it.
I agree.
Selling the injury. Randy Orton should not be in it if he's going to be involved in the Cody Rhodes-Kevin Owens match.
Mm-hmm.
But I think something we need to also take into consideration about the Royal Rumble is the layout of it is always not. It's never the same. It's never the same. It's not always one Royal Rumble, one match, one Royal Rumble, one match, or a match
quick,
Rumble.
Before you go too far on this tangent,
it's gonna kind of depend on what we're doing. Go ahead.
Miz hasn't been announced.
Okay.
R-Truth has not been announced. Karrion Kross has not been announced. Bo Dallas could show up. I don't think he will.
I want the Miz to walk down, and immediately all the lights turn off, and he just never makes it to the ring. And then his whole thing is, I was never eliminated from the Royal Rumble. The Wyatt Six just continue to torture that poor man.
I think that was all the names. But that was a good 20 names that they could be in the Rumble that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There are names on that list that are not going to be in the Rumble match.
I'm going to tell you things. I'm going to tell you something I think you're not surprised to hear. The women's match is going to have a lot more surprises than the men's.
Well, yeah.
But I think the women's match is more predictable given all those surprises than the men's.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
We feel way more confident about Charlotte and Io Sky than we do about Cena and CM Punk.
Rollins, Punk, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I looked at Shell's picks. My bad. but still, there's no. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel way more certain about Charlotte winning to face
Tiffany
than I do. I have no idea how the men's thing's gonna go. And what I need WWE to do is they've been doing a great job with booking, especially these last couple of years with manias and being chaos. But they really need to start applying that same energy to the women.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, I think, but honestly, I would argue last year's women's match was a better match than the men's match.
Sure. Or was it just that there were so many surprises? It was just pop after pop after pop after pop after pop.
Yeah. Well, no, I think the story of Bayley getting through and all that was better than anything they did in the men's.
Yeah.
I was arguing that I did not want Cody to win last year's Rumble.
I know.
but it turned into something really great.
It
So
worked out great, and how can we argue against that? You know.
so hopefully tonight is really good. I'm really excited. I've got one guy coming to my house who like is just now getting back into wrestling.
Is it your dad?
No. It's the guy that officiated my wedding.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
then another buddy who has never watched WWE, I invited him over and he's like, "Yeah, I'll come hang out. I'm probably not gonna like
Oh.
it." And I was like, "Well, we gonna see now, aren't we?"
Yeah, you gonna learn today.
So-
No. It's gonna be great. I think this really has a shot. Unless things go sideways, to be a pay-per-view of the year contender with literally two matches and 2 rumbles.
Yeah.
I think this really has a lot of potential, and I'm very, very excited about it. So, but I think with all of that, I mean, we've talked for over an hour and a half. We got, I think, most of our thoughts and ideas out. I'm sure we'll be texting back and forth and everything. But as far as I'm concerned, I think we're pretty much done here.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I think I honestly just can't wait.
I'm so excited. It's the best day. It is the best day.
The Rumble is the funnest pay-per-view all year, but sometimes also the most disappointing.
Oh, but
know?
I don't think since Hunter took over we've had a bad Rumble match.
You know what's funny is people say we haven't had a good one since he took over.
What?
I know. They're like,
2023 was amazing.
There's great spots at the end and the beginning, but everything else in the middle is just blah. And I'm like, have you seen the roster, bro? Like, that roster looking thick, There's like
2 C's.
Yeah, it's such a full, stacked roster. What do you want?
So, real quick, and then we'll wrap. My favorite thing that's happened in the Rumble in the past few years was Rumble 23. Okay, in the middle of the match, for no reason, Santos and Johnny Gargano are wrestling, and Santos just hits him with a top rope Phantom Driver for no reason. And Corey Graves is like, "Did he just do a top rope Phantom Driver?" And like the camera only caught them falling. And I'm like, y'all are just out here having fun, huh?
It was actually just like, what's the craziest spot we can do in a Rumble? Do it now. It's just, oh my gosh.
And like, it was in the middle of the countdown, so the camera was on the ramp. And they just flashed back real quick.
They're just falling out of the sky for no reason. You're like,
but like, how do you hate that?
That was for the live.
Oh, 100%. But
all right, man. Well, listen, let's wrap this up. I got things to do. You got things to do, and then we'll talk later for the Rumble, and then hopefully maybe in a week or 2 we can roll it back and then kind of figure out where we're going now that we'll have like a little bit more.
Start talking Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Which I really like the Elimination Chamber. I think they're always fun.
They are always fun. It's such a cool match, But
So.
But we'll talk about that when we get there. So, all right, man. I'm gonna let you go. Hey, thanks for being here. This has been fun. Tell your wife I'm sorry we wasted an hour and a half this morning. And I'll talk to you next time.
Yep. See you later.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.